my dear friends, and welcome. Brenda L. Balding here. The L stands for Love's Inner Voice, the path of self-discovery. Thank you so much for being with me today. I have a beautiful guest coming on later, and I'll let you know more about her. Right now, let's do our heart breathing to just breathe in calm and light and love. Breathe in through the heart, down into the lungs and down into your core. Breathe in the light and love of the divine, of the universe, whatever that is for you. Just breathe it in slowly to the count of 4. Hold it to the count of 4. And as you breathe out anything that you're ready to release today. Let's do that 3 or 4 times to some soft music. Breathe in. Breathe in through your nose, light and love. Breathe out anything that you want to release into the loving hands of the divine. As you're doing that, notice how your body's responding. Mine just relaxes down and lets any stress go in the moment. Thank you so much for being here. Today, our focus is listening to your intuition. And what is that? We're going to be talking about that with a beautiful lady named Anistara Ma Ka. Thank you for doing the breathing. And we'll move into introducing Anistara. She calls herself the mother of 1111. There she is. Unified and Ascension University. An international teacher, author, visionary, pioneer, and awakened leader. Her mission is to weave community, unity being capital letters, together with co-creating transformational experiences for humanity's awakening, whatever that is for us and for you. She's a holistic coach. Her students and clients have achieved extraordinary transformational results, transmuting their perceived problems, because most of our problems are what we perceive, or ascension, into their new earth superpowers. She's been featured on many stages around the world, teaching and performing for years at festivals, retreats, and special events, sharing the art of embodiment, empowerment, and confidence. You know, we do need to have confidence if we're willing to, and trust, if we're willing to move into a new way of being, that we don't know what that's going to be like. And for me, that's exciting, because that's, being creative. She's an event planner and produces unique events that awaken, inspire, and motivate. Is to be in service to you on your awakening path as you gain purpose, clarity, feel empowered, and rise into your leadership. Welcome, Anistara Ma Ka.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here, Anistara.
So
What a
grateful.
blessing.
Yeah.
What happens when people realize that they're kind of walking an off kilter, an old life that doesn't work for them anymore, a way of being that kind of
Mm.
doesn't feel correct anymore?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so many of us are waking up to the truth of who we are, that we're infinite beings and that we have infinite potential and that we're just spiritual beings having a human experience in this body. And so I find that during these pivotal times in humanity's awakening, that many people are coming to the realization that their old life doesn't make sense anymore, that they simply aren't happy or fulfilled with the work that they're in, perhaps even the relationship or the home that they're in. And I find that this is part of the ascension process, is that when we get to a higher frequency or vibration, that lower, denser vibrational things no longer serve us. So there's certain foods that we can't eat anymore. For instance, I just cannot eat gluten anymore. There's certain movies, like I don't even understand how someone can watch a horror movie and want that in their subconscious. So there's definitely things that we see in our life that isn't in alignment with our energy or our frequency or vibration any longer. And so we're all being invited to step out of our comfort zone and into a new moment of growth and transformation, where if we have a fear of the unknown, we can get stuck in that old place. And so I'm inviting my clients and my friends and my guests at my events to really step out of that comfort zone, get that glass ceiling off the roof, and elevate and levitate into their newest and highest timeline for their life.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yana, please pause the recording. For some reason, Star, you are glitching all the time. You are. We can hear your voice, not a problem, but your picture is freezing frequently.
Okay.
Do you have a phone that's open to Wi-Fi? If you do, you might want to turn off the Wi-Fi. I just
Yeah,
want to
I
let you know.
just so you know, I am hardwired in and I have an 850 upload speed right now
Okay.
on fiber optic Wi-Fi.
Well, then you
So
shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Yana, are you
yeah,
noticing that too, or is it just me?
you also froze, Brenda, when you were doing your
Yeah, and I'm
meditation.
hardwired too. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, isn't that interesting? I
Mm-hmm.
said that there was stuff, and I've got my phone on airplane mode too.
All right, I'm on airplane mode. I literally shut all my apps on my
Yeah,
computer.
I
There's
know. I
nothing
have
running but
too.
Bitstream and Chrome.
I have too. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happening, but
Yep.
anyway,
Let me
Yana,
do
this
let me do
shouldn't
another
be on
speed
the
test.
record. Why is it still
Hold on.
recording?
Yeah, you're gonna have to do an edit now, huh?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna run a speed test again.
Yana, pause.
Yeah,
Please welcome with me Anistara Ma Ka. Beautiful lady. Welcome, Anistara. So lovely to see you and to have you with me today.
Hi.
Speaking about
We're
our
not recording,
intuition.
just so you know. We're not recording. There isn't the big red record button in the upper
Yes, we are
side.
recording.
Are we?
Yes.
Before it said recording at the top, and now it's not.
Well, it says 11:10 and it's moving.
Okay, stop.
Now she's paused it again. Ma Ka. Such a beautiful lady. She has been a gift in my life, and I know that she'll be a gift in yours. And we're going to be talking about listening to your intuition. Anistara Ma Ka. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Though realizing what happens when people realize that their old life doesn't work anymore, how they see the world is kind of off kilter.
Yeah. I find that as a lot of people are awakening to the truth of who they are, that we're infinite beings with infinite potential, sometimes our old life doesn't make sense anymore. Our old job, our relationship that we're in, the home that we're in, something feels off energetically. And it's just not aligned with who we really are or what our purpose and mission is on this planet. And so I find that when I work with clients or I have guests in during my virtual experiences, that a lot of them are suffering a lot of loss and feeling lost and confused and not fulfilled in the life that they're leading right now. And the rigmarole of a job and just all of the things. And so I find that as we raise our frequency and vibration, old things in our life don't align with us anymore. It's like a radio station being out of tune. You know, when you're on one station and somebody's on the other, we don't match anymore. And so some people are losing family members or friends that used to be close to them for many, many years. And I want them to know that they're not alone, that as you are waking up to who you truly are and you're stepping into that next timeline for yourself, that to not be afraid, to break the glass ceiling, to understand that this is a moment of growth and transformation. So when we get out of our old comfort zone, that's where real growth occurs. Yeah. So I really feel like so many people are suffering right now because they're just not happy in the life that they have created and they're ready for something new. And so I love working with people who are in that transitional period of wanting to start a new business or have a new child or into a new home. And I find that when we really follow our intuition, and we really follow that inner guidance, it opens new doors for us that we never knew could be opened before.
Yes. And, this is, it's always for me like I need to act as if I am moving in the direction and the way of being for right now. And sometimes I don't know what that is, and I don't know where that is, and that becomes okay. So, what are some of those ascension symptoms that we
Yeah.
experience that kind of might be scary?
Yeah. So there are so many ascension symptoms.
Yeah.
And when we say that some people might consider them a perceived problem. And yet, really, when you tune into the underbelly of it, it's just something that's there for you to grow in, to grow
Yep.
through, to grow into. I
Yep.
like to say, what's in the way is the way, right? And seeing it all the way through, seeing it to the other side. And so I'll give you a few examples of the big list. Some of them is like a ringing in the ears. So, for instance, I have a ringing in my right ear, and periodically, when it happens, it I have transmuted it from being tinnitus, right, into it is my awareness alarm clock. So I made a mindset shift into what do I need to be aware of in my surroundings right now? It has saved me from a car accident. It has saved me from slipping down some stairs. Like I go, oh, okay, what do I need to pay attention to right now? And I get on like more like high alert when I have that ringing. Many people wake up in the middle of the night and they just have lightning fast downloads. They're receiving information and they're like, what do I do with this information? So I invite my clients to pull out their journal and write. Because if you're awake anyways, why toss and turn? Like listen to what you're being told and take it down. You can use an app called Otter where you can record your voice and it'll transcribe it for you. Other ascension symptoms is lower frequency things don't serve you anymore. For instance, I personally cannot really eat anything with GMO, anything that's been modified in any way. If it's not organic and whole, my body reacts to it. I'll literally get some hives, and I didn't used to be that sensitive. So as we're holding more light and more frequency or higher vibration frequencies in our body, the lower, denser frequencies don't work for us anymore. Like I have a really hard time watching violence or horror movies, or I just don't anymore.
Yeah.
I really choose what's going into my body physically and consciously as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love the changing of the tinnitus, because I also have it in my right ear, but the right ear only, which I find very interesting that it's only one ear and it's
Yeah.
not all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love changing the focus of what that is.
Yeah.
And maybe I can do that with my tremors too. Very
There you go.
interesting thought.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like, what are they
So,
giving to you, right? Like, are
yeah,
you moving nervous energy out? Is it a way of you releasing your stress? Like, what is that for you? How is it
yeah,
serving you in this new way? Hmm.
right. I love, looking at it as a gift. And usually I'm really good at looking at challenges as gifts because that's what they are. They're there for me to learn from, to grow from, maybe to let go of something that's no longer working for me that I'm still trying to hang on to, and it's like, how is that serving me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you've been using voice text instead of typing. Like maybe
Yep.
it's like, giving you an opportunity to open your throat chakra and use your voice more. Like I
Yeah.
can see how there's several ways that it is serving you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, talking about this, some people may say, oh, they're just talking craziness. They're just talking. That can't be really true. And I know that you've been judged throughout, especially when you first began your journey and put it out there with acceptance and compassion and love. And people called you crazy or what is she doing?
Yeah.
How did you walk through that? And how can you help others walk through that?
Mm. Yeah, I'm still walking through it.
I think we all are,
It's an
all of us are
ongoing.
walking a different path.
Yeah, it's an ongoing experience. When So I like to say that, those of us who have been the black sheep of the family, or I like to say the rainbow sheep of the family, we've
I
always
love
been
that.
different, right? We've always been different. We didn't conform to a certain way of being or, society's expectations of us, et cetera, et cetera. We've always walked to the beat of our own drum.
Mm-hmm.
And some people might consider, like they'll look at us and be like, well, what's going on with her? She's so different and she must be crazy. I have one client who basically has said, like, I see aliens, like I see ships, and I believe that we aren't the only sentient beings in the entire universe. And her husband's like, wow, I totally don't believe that, and you must be going nuts. So again, these judgments from others don't have to be our truth. We can
Right.
still stand in our own light. We can still be led by our inner compass, our inner guidance, our intuition, right? And know that whatever our experience is ours. It's in psychology, it's called your phenomenological world. It means that however you experience this 3D reality, and through your upbringing, your cultural upbringing, your religious upbringing, all of the the